So here I've got a window with some curtains that I made out of a drop cloth. And the way this curtain is currently, it's supported with brackets on the outside of the window frame, which is fine. But it is a little bit more bulky. The rod has to extend way past the window, and the curtains hang below the window and outside of it. So, it's one look. I think I prefer the look of having the curtains actually sit inside the window frame, like right around here, right up here. So I'm going to show you how to move them today, how to make a little bracket on the inside of the window frame there, and it's super easy and cheap. Yeah, so all you need is a saw and then some dowels that I'm going to show you, and a way to nail it to the wall there. So let's get the supplies and show you what I mean. All right, so the first thing that I've got here is a square dowel. This one is 3/8 of an inch poplar. You can use whatever size you have handy. You can also cut strips out of either plywood or just normal dimensional lumber. I've done that in the past. I'm going to try the dowel this time just to make it a little bit easier for myself, and hopefully it'll look a little bit better because it's cut more precisely than I can do with my table saw. But yeah, it's definitely cheaper to just cut strips out of plywood or whatever. So you're going to want to cut it to, around this size. You can go bigger if you want. I have other ones where I did 3/4 of an inch square or 1/2 inch square. It's all fine. I think I like the smaller ones better. It's a little bit less obvious in the window there. Doesn't really matter though, because all the strength is going to come from the nails that are holding it in, not necessarily the specific piece of wood that you use. And then you're going to need a way to nail it to the window frame there. So I'm going to use this 15 gauge finish nailer, these long nails. And you do need, so some of the windows in my house, they have, they're like this. So this is drywall sheetrock over the actual wooden frame of the window casing. So in that case, you're going to need some particularly long nails, because you need to go through this, 1/2 inch or whatever piece of drywall into the wood behind it. So these super long nails will work great for that. They may even be a little bit too long. I may just use some shorter ones or something, I don't know, but those would be a good choice. If some of the other windows, if they have wood here or trim or whatever, you can use like, brad nails or something smaller, because you just have to go through your piece of dowel or plywood or whatever into that wood, so it's no problem. But when you have drywall like this, you need longer nails. So what I'm going to do, the curtain rod that I have here, I've already measured it, but you're going to need to measure yours. Like for some of my windows, I use metal pipe if it's particularly long. So for this one, this is 1.5 inches thick. So you're basically just going to build kind of a pocket for that 1.5 inches to sit with these dowels, and then you'll nail it up to the window casing. And I'll show you the exact shape that you're going to want to build and how to cut this. But basically, you're just going to cut 3 pieces of this for each side of the window. So 6 pieces total, and you'll build a little pocket for this curtain rod to sit in. So I'm going to go cut those, and I'll show you the pieces and how they're going to fit. Okay, so I just drew out what I'm planning to do here. So you can see this is how it's going to sit. So this is the little bracket that the rod is going to sit in, that we're going to nail to the wall here. So This front piece is going to be 3 3/8 inches. And how you get to that measurement is it's twice the diameter of the rod plus the width of the dowel that you're using, or whatever material you end up using. Then this bottom piece, 1.5 inches, it's the same diameter as the rod. Then this piece is the diameter of the rod plus 3/8. And now you can place this anywhere on this wall, but this space between the wall and the bracket needs to be at least 1.5 inches, because you have to be able to maneuver the rod up in there to come and sit down in the bracket. And this space should be at least the thickness of your drywall or sheetrock, because you don't want to be sending your nails into drywall. You want to be sending them into wood. And this isn't to scale, by the way. This is just to help you visualize what I'm about to do here. So anyways, I'm going to go cut up the dowel, and then I'll cut the rod. So you're going to need to cut the rod so that it fits inside your window here. And maybe even just a hair shorter so you can actually squeeze it in there. But yeah, let me go cut those, and then I will mount them up here. All right, so I've got my dowel cut here. I actually cut twice as many because I'm going to do 2 windows. But so here's the long piece, 3 3/8. So I made 2 marks here, 3/4 of an inch in, and that'll put me inside of the 1/2 inch sheetrock here, but still towards the outside. I like it to be out towards the outside because then it keeps the curtains off the window itself. So what I'm gonna do is just line up the first piece here with these 2 marks that I made, as best I can. It's not gonna be perfect, as you can see, kind of a weird fit, but then I'm just gonna nail that. And I did switch out here to my brad nailer with some, I believe these are 1 1/4 inch nails. I think the big old 3-inch finish nailer is a little bit overkill for this. So I'm going to see how well the brad nails hold up. And the beauty of that is if you have any issues, you can always go back in with the bigger nails afterwards. So yeah, let's get those nailed up, and I'll show you how these brackets look. All right, so here's the mostly finished product. You can see I was able to get my bar up in here. And the way you get these in and out is you'll just slip, you just slip them out of there, and then you can take them in and out pretty easily, which is why I like this design. They're not fixed in there. And yeah, you can see it did crack a bit, so 3/8 is too small. If I was doing this again, I would at least use 1/2 inch, maybe even bigger dowels or strips of wood or whatever. But these will hold fine, I think, even though they're cracked, and maybe I'll put some glue in here or something, but it's really not a big deal. I'll keep these as is. So now the only thing left is I need to remeasure my curtains and then hang them in here. So let me go ahead and do that. All right, so here we have it. Here's the finished product. You can see it moves back and forth, opens up nicely. Going forward, things that I could probably do to improve this. One, I want to get some sort of a cover for this top portion here to cover the gap. So that's one thing that, I've been planning for all my windows. I haven't gotten around to doing it yet, but I'm pretty happy with these. They do block the light nicely, so they work. The gap is kind of annoying though, so you want to put something there. Maybe clean these up a bit, put some sort of, put some filler and some paint and stuff on them, but they're pretty out of the way. You wouldn't really, from the front, it just looks like just a piece of wood. So it's not a big deal. And then with that, if I got something to cover this gap here, it would be hidden anyways. I like how they turn out, and it keeps the curtains contained into the window, which is a really good thing if you've got, you know, furniture near there, especially like I have a different window downstairs that is right next to the pellet stove. So you can imagine having this is a lot safer than having it be on the outside dangling loose, you know, potentially rubbing up against the stove. That's bad news. So this is a good solution for that. I'll try and give you a little bit of a zoomed out view here. So yeah, so now I can, you know, I think it's a lot tighter when it's all inside the window there as opposed to, you know, flapping outside of it. And then I can remove those brackets now. So yeah, and everything I showed you here, it applies for any size or type of window as long as it has that, you know, it's inset in the box like that. Um, and again, I used 3/8 inch dowels for the brackets, and that's too small. So go with at least a half inch, probably even bigger, just so it won't split when you put it on there. It's not really a huge deal. I mean, these are, even though it's split, it's still holding, so it's still, you know, it's still fine, but it just doesn't look good. And, you know, potentially maybe it could, you know, if something, you know, was to pull on this really hard or something, maybe it could break and then I would have to fix it. And, you know, it's pretty, I can come back in here and I might just redo this with, you know, a bigger piece at some point. But, you know, for now it's fine. And I'll just keep an eye on it and, you know, hopefully it stays good. So anyways, yeah, thanks for watching, and you know, hope that helps you and you can set up your own windows like this if you want. Oh, and I should mention also another thing to make the, you know, the curtains themselves. Again, these are just drop cloths. They're the cheapest possible curtain you can make. If you do want, I've just folded them over and they happen to be exactly halfway, which is pretty nice. Um, but, you know, to make them look nicer, you can sew them up so they're solid. You can cut them, you know, however you need to do it. So that would make for a nicer looking curtain. But yeah, I really, there's so many things that I got to fix in my house before I can worry about, you know, having nice curtains, that it's just so low on my list right now. But yeah, I like having at least some curtain there you can, you know, close off the window and, you know, have some privacy or whatever. So thanks for watching.